Hey, this is me. I'm going to read through the PowerPoint for anybody that wants to hear me read it. And of course, start and stop the video where you need. So, we're doing civil disobedience, and the title of this is Civil Rights and Civil Disobedience Political Action for Change by Tanya Eastman, the lady who made this. And our essential question this is what our Satomer will be about. What were the reasons that the practice of civil disobedience has been used? Okay, what were the reasons? This is just a picture of a guy with a cool sign that says stand for something. Okay. So this one doesn't have a question, although it should be a why question. We'll figure that out later. But here I go. I'm going to go ahead and read this, and you can start and stop this at any time while you are listening to it and you are doing your own copy of it. In 1849, as the United States government needed money for the Mexican-American War, Henry David Thoreau refused to pay a direct tax for the Mexican-American War, although he did pay his other taxes. This was the first protest against the government. He thought the war was a bad thing, so he felt it was necessary to resist paying his direct tax to support the war against Mexico. That led him into being put into jail. Although people gave him advice to pay the tax, he still didn't pay. He didn't fear the government, and at that same time inspired other people to join his protest. The night in the jail allowed him to start writing his essay, Civil Disobedience. In his notes, he talked about actively refusing to obey certain laws or demands of the state and the government because citizens have the freedom of choice between good and bad decisions made by our leaders. After 20 years, the notes were printed into a book by the same name and read by many people, including Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. Now, I need you to go through, after me reading this, and use your own copy to find the what, the why, and the how, and put that in your summary. After you've done your summary, watch this video. It's actually really good. It's short, but it's really good on Henry David Thoreau. Now I'm going to read about Rosa Parks. And again, this is a what question, and you will be writing the what question on your own. Okay, so the order is what. The last one up here, the order is why. So it would be why, what, how. This one is going to be what, why, and how. On December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks was taking the bus home from work in Montgomery, Alabama, when she refused to give up her seat. She was already sitting down and was in the row closest to the front for Black people. When the bus began to fill up, the driver told the people in Rosa's row to move back in order to make room for a white passenger. Rosa was tired of being treated like a second-class person. She refused to move and give up her seat for a white person. Rosa was then arrested and fined $10. Although other people had been arrested for similar infractions, it was Rosa's arrest that sparked a protest against segregation. Civil rights leaders and ministers got together to organize a day to boycott the buses. That meant for one day, Black people would not ride the buses in Mobile. They picked December 5th. They handed out pamphlets so people would know what to do on December 5th. Around 90% of the Black people in Montgomery did not ride the buses, and this hurt the bus company because most of their passengers were Black people. So now I need you to tell me what, why, and how. And because it's a what question, go back over it and turn in your question. Use what it gives you. Use the information that this article gives you in your summary. When you're done with that, please watch this video. It's really good on Rosa Parks. And finally, we're going to learn about Cesar Chavez. Now I'm going to make this larger because it's easier to read. This is a how question, so it'll be how, what, and why. After 2 years in the Navy, Cesar Chavez married and returned to his hometown of San Jose. He became involved in farm workers' rights and equal work practices for Hispanic workers in the farming industry. It was during this time that he also became involved in the philosophy of nonviolence by reading about Rosa Parks and Henry David Thoreau. Cesar started an organization called the Community Service Organization, CSO, that started to focus on voter registration for the workers, because many of the Hispanic people working in the farm fields didn't vote. When Cesar was a small boy, until he left for the Navy, he worked in the farm fields all around San Jose, and his entire family, and in many instances, witnessed Hispanics like himself being beaten and abused by the white field owners. By 1962, Cesar became the founder of the National Farm Workers Association, that would later be named the UFW, United Farm Workers. In 1970, the UFW got the grape growers to accept a labor union contract, which allowed 50,000 paying members to become an organized group in the industry. His leadership, combined with nonviolent actions, prompted a 340-mile march in protest to get the state to allow farm workers to organize into a union, which would bring safe working conditions to all minorities in the farm industry. Cesar encouraged nonviolent methods of protest, including pickets and boycotts, to achieve their goals. Now I gotta go small so I can read the last part here. The reason he did this was to make sure that the angry protesters saw the results of nonviolence as an action. So in this slide, you need to find the how. Well, first of all, of course, find the what, find the why, and then find the how, and then turn that how into a how question by using the summary you came up with. And then don't forget, watch this really good short video on Cesar Chavez, and maybe he'll be the topic of your video that you choose after Christmas break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this video helped. If you need anything else, please let me know. All right, bye.